opinions on the Eagles game. I think we'll take this and we'll end it, but I think this is an interesting one because I do remember us talking about it, and there was a small difference of opinion between us.
Yeah. So my thing was, I'm disappointed they did it. I wanted to see if Hurts could come back. He's going to be their potentially quarterback of the future, depending on the Wentz situation. I think he probably will be, at least for next year, be like the starter, right? And they bring in Sudfeld. He's been in the league for about 4 years. You probably know what you have with him. And he has basically an arm punt, which was just a bomb interception. He fumbled the snap. It was a low snap. He didn't really jump on it. He tried to pick it up. That didn't work. And he just, by all accounts, just didn't look like he deserved to be on the field. Hurts looked way better, especially behind the bad O-line that is the Eagles. It seemed like they were tanking, but I've seen stuff that said the Eagles said they were going to start Sudfeld.
Yeah, I've also read that.
That's the thing.
That's where I was going to go.
Blown with. Like, they said they were going to put him in.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. That's where I'm going to go. They said they were going to put in. They clearly felt that their season was over, and I didn't think it was a tank. I think they looked at it as an opportunity to evaluate Sudfeld within a context of a real NFL game, because I know they've been high on him, right? They kept him with Foles and Wentz, which meant they kept 3 quarterbacks. So they really felt like he was something. That's why they kept him. And Jalen Hurts was playing bad. Let's be honest. Jalen Hurts was pretty okay in his rookie season, but he was playing bad. So it wasn't the worst decision to bench him. Clearly, Sudfeld wasn't it, so we don't get it that way. But I just think it got overblown because it was in national media, national stage, the only game on TV. I think that week 17, an opportunity to evaluate Sudfeld, if they did this in the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock window, playing the Eagles there with one of the 10 games on Fox during that time, I don't think people would be so pressing on that it was tanked. They ruined everything. I think what they did is something that happens, and they clearly made the decision to do it. I feel bad for the Giants, but ultimately, like, that division, all you had to do was win 7 games. Yeah. So I can't really excuse you. If Evan Ingram could catch a pass against the Eagles, then maybe you would go to the playoffs regardless.
That's a Pro Bowler right there.
That's true. That is a Pro Bowl tight end. So, yeah, and that's where I'm at that.
So I have a couple things that I disagree with you on. I really think they were tanking in the fact that if they win that game, they go to the 9th draft spot. Now they're at the 6th. The capital to move from 9 to 6 is actually pretty significant, even though it's only 3 spots. Like, you're trading a lot of assets to get there. So that's number one. And second off, the first 2 drives, I think they saw what they had in Sudfeld. They could have they had like 4 drives in the 4th quarter, and at least one of them they could have brought back in Hurts. I really think they could have. If they wanted to win that game, they would have brought back in Hurts. And yeah, he wasn't doing the best in that game, but if you saw Sudfeld's mobility with that D-line coming at you, and you're telling me you'd rather have Sudfeld running out there than Hurts, I would just entirely disagree on that. And sure, you could say the first 2 drives they wanted to evaluate him, maybe even the first 3. But that last one, I mean, they didn't even try to throw a Hail Mary. The man was throwing balls into the dirt. I think Al Michaels said it best. He threw that. It was like a little running back just going to the sideline. He just threw it into the dirt, and he said, "What was that?" Yeah, I mean, it was hard to watch for everyone. And I'm with you. I don't have any sympathy for the Giants. If you want to go to the playoffs, win more than 6 games. Like, I get all that you want to, get in, but like being mad that you didn't get in because the Eagles couldn't beat the 6 and 9 football team, like, win more games. But I just disagree a little bit.
I get where you're coming from there. I just think they wanted to do an evaluation of Sudfeld. Clearly, Sudfeld isn't good.
Were the first 2 drives not enough?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they gave him an extra chance. I don't know if you would call it tanking because it's a problem with the league structure in and of itself. It's tough for me to ever think players and coaches tank just because tomorrow, Doug Peterson, even though he won a Super Bowl, there's no guarantee he has his job. What if Jeffrey Lurie thinks, well, I want Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz says, I don't want Doug Peterson? Then Doug Peterson is fired, and now he has an extra loss in the loss column that might hurt him when you go to coaching interviews. Because let's say his record is now, let's say he was like going to be 500 and now he's below 500. That's not exactly him. I'm just making up some random
Mhm.
example. But the point is, I just don't think that I think players and coaches have too much on the line because they get only 16 chances to prove themselves for every single year in order to make money. And for that reason, it's tough for me to just use the word tanking. I get what you're saying. Yeah, Sudfeld was bad. It was a kind of a
Not
weird
just bad,
situation.
horrific. Say it how it
Horrific,
is. You're horrific.
horrific. But ultimately, it was kind of a weird situation because they did have that game on Sunday night, and I think if it wasn't on Sunday night, this conversation wouldn't be overblown because it's not that big of a deal in my opinion.
And I don't think it's the players that are tanking, right? It's the coach's decision to put in Sudfeld when if you're trying to win a game, it's pretty evident that Hurts is the better option. And I think Peterson's job is actually safe. I kind of disagree with you on that. Like this is his first season. They didn't make the playoffs in the last, I believe, 3. And next year he'll probably be on the hot seat. But I think he's fine going into next year. But yeah, it was just tough to. I do agree with you that it was a little overblown because it was on Sunday night. Like if this is a 1:00 game in MetLife, or sorry, not MetLife, in the Eagles Stadium, it's not that big of a deal. But it was on prime time.
Lincoln Financial.
There was big ramifications of the game.